Direct from Foxboro, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxboro Cable Access. It's Foxboro Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome. I am Bob Hickey. I am your host, and thank you for taking a little bit of time to join me and my guests as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxboro the gem of Norfolk County. Today, I am so happy to be joined by many folks, some younger and some older, but all good people who are here to talk about a wonderful event, second annual. I'm not even sure what the name of it is. Why don't we just jump right into it? It's on the Thanksgiving, the whole Thanksgiving give back to veterans and the turkey donations and the Veterans Appreciation. Lots of things to talk about. Why don't we start off? I'm here, of course, joined by, to my far opposite, Brian DeVellis. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Why are we here?
So we're here to talk about the Foxboro Mansfield Thanksgiving Day special, where this is the second year, like you said, we're offering free turkeys and free admission to veterans and their family. They have to call a phone number or email or contact an email address, and if they talk early enough, then they can get a free turkey, and then if they talk earlier, if they show up on the game day, then they can still get free admission along with their families.
Well, why don't we start off with that, folks? We're talking about a need for donations, and this is the second year doing it as a partnership with the Mansfield and the Foxboro football programs, correct?
Yeah, yes.
And so this is a really cool way to give back, and it's a great way to give back to the veterans who have served and are back home, or maybe their families are here, and not necessarily people in need, but just a way to give back. So this is more of a positive, just want to give something and recognize, right?
Yeah, it's not a charity. It's more like the main idea we've been stressing is that it's, I guess, a token of gratitude. It's a thank you. It's not something that they should feel hesitant about accepting. It's just a small appreciation.
It's a fun way to give back.
Yeah.
So folks at home, as we're going to do periodically throughout the program, the way to get in touch with either if you're a veteran, a family with a veteran serving, or with a service member serving right now, or if you know somebody, you can either contact Selectman Jim DeVellis, and he is one of the people who are spearheading, and of course it's really cool that in the second year his son Brian is here with us, but you can call him at home, believe it or not, at 508-543-2852. Always impressed when our selectmen are accessible, and he's not afraid to give his home telephone number. So that's 508-543-2852, or you can email him at James DeVellis, and that is with 2 L's, at Comcast.net. And of course, another person who's very instrumental in this whole event is our veterans agent, Michael Johns. And I'm also here joined by Blaj. Oh, I'm gonna hatchet this right. Blaj Buzniak, right?
That was good.
Good. All right. Very good. And you are the captain of this year's football team, no?
Yep.
Excellent. And so, why are we doing this?
Like Brian said, we're doing this to show our appreciation towards the veterans, and it's just a fun way to give back, like you said. I remember last year, we went to a couple houses, and a few veterans, almost every single one of them, they were just so happy to see us, and we engaged in full conversation, and they were really happy. And we just want to stress it that it's not a charity, and like it's something that is just strictly appreciated.
So it's the football players who are making the deliveries.
Yep.
Oh, I did not realize that. So it's really a way to give back, and actually folks who are would be benefiting from getting a turkey would be helping out the whole cause, because it sort of creates a connection and allows the football team to meet some folks, and also gives a sense of community.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. And along with that, Michael Johns, who's our veterans agent, he can be contacted if you're a veteran or your family of a active service member, or maybe you want to surprise a veteran and your neighbors. Call them up at 508-543-1204. That's his office at Town Hall. You can always stop in Town Hall at 40 South Street, or his email address is mjohns@town.foxboro, spelled the correct way with the UGH, .ma.us. That's mjohns@town.foxboro.ma.us. It's the only way to spell it, in my opinion, but that's just me. So as part of this program, and what we like to do is also create that feel of why we're doing this. And we're blessed to be joined today from my left, we have Laj and his grandfather, Charlie. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And we are also joined with Brian's grandfather, Mario. How are you doing, sir?
Fine.
All
Nice
right.
to be here this morning.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, and it is always a nice connection to bring the reason why we're doing this. So if you don't mind, I'd like to just talk a few stories. Are you up for some stories?
Sure.
All right. I didn't get you any coffee, but if we can do stories
fine.
anyway. So why don't we start off here, since you laughed harder than he did at my joke. We'll go with you first.
Okay.
Now, Charlie, you are you are visiting us from Hungary, correct? So we are doubly blessed in that we have an out-of-towner who made the trip all the way to Foxboro just to be on my program.
So my daughter and my grandchildren are living here more than 10 years, and from time to time I have the chance to visit them. Now I am a retired man, and I have more time to enjoy this situation. And I'm very proud when I heard that they are just build up a tradition of those, to this respect for the veterans. I'm not a soldier. I was duty in crisis areas.
I was going to say, you're not a soldier, but you have a very interesting story. I'm looking forward to hearing and sharing that. But you just mentioned the tradition, and this is a really, the beginning of a really nice tradition, a nice way to give back, and also a nice way to continue the connectivity.
So, look, I met the soldiers in abroad. I mean, American soldiers, and I can say that I have a very deep respect for that, how and what they are doing, especially last term in Afghanistan. The people far from their homeland, and doing their best for their nation and for the people, for the humankind in general. I think it's a very important thing, and we must salute them any occasion what we have.
Well, and this is a great way to salute, and the football team, in partnership with the Mansfield football team, right? So it's a Thanksgiving Day rivalry, but we've also sort of come together as communities, and maybe it's made a new chapter in the whole Thanksgiving Day game, shall we say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so with the Mansfield players and with the Foxboro players, did they do the same thing? They're raising money and they're...
Yeah, so the Mansfield, the Gridiron Club, it's a close. It's like our touchdown club, and yeah, I guess the plan is like amidst all the tension. I mean, obviously it's a big game, it's a rivalry, but it's a chance to, I guess, kind of take a breath and step back. And I mean, in the big picture, I mean, like it's for the veterans, and Foxboro and Mansfield share the same country, obviously. So it's a chance to for the two clubs and the two teams to kind of step back and appreciate the common. Veteran, the same concept.
Now, this started last year, and last year the Mansfield football team, the Gridiron Club, actually came up with the idea, but it was hosted in Foxboro because we go back and forth every year. So this is the return favor. It's being in Mansfield. But in addition to the turkey donations, and by the way, I should also mention that for folks wanting to just send a check, and let's be honest, we need you to do that. This is a donation opportunity for everybody in the community. And they're not looking for a ton of money. They're buying turkeys, and we're talking $5, $10, $20, $25. Send your checks to the Foxboro Touchdown Club, and their address is Post Office Box 465, here in beautiful Foxboro, Massachusetts, 02035. And if you're looking at us on the internet at www.fcatv.org, your check's still cash good here in Foxboro, so send it on in. So we're talking about the donations, but we're also talking about game day. And on game day in Mansfield, there's also something that, a way to give back to the veterans, a way to recognize them. What's going to happen?
Well, on game day, they get to sit on the field, on the sideline.
They have a special section.
Yeah, they have a special
right.
section, so that's pretty awesome. Brings the generations together. It's
And there's
cool
and there's
experience.
a separate entrance dedicated just for the veterans, so that way they can come in with their families. And
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. And a few of them may be honored during the coin toss to do the flip.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. And
So there's some recognition, some opportunity for people to get a little special entrance, the fast lane, if you will. And of course, the game will be on Foxboro Cable Access, and everybody will be seeing it. So this is a nice opportunity to see some friends and some family, and maybe see them in a different light.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, I'd like to introduce your grandfather.
This is Mario Marini. Do the little introduction.
Mario Marini. I was in the Navy, aboard ship, and I think what they're doing is very touching to the veterans. My personal experience many years ago, someone stopped during a race, saluted me, thanked me for my service, and for many, many years, I do the same, whether I'm in the grocery store, on the street, whether it's an active duty serviceman or a veteran. If I see that baseball hat with the insignia on the top, and I've never had an instance where a veteran wasn't thankful. An example, I've had one that said, gee, you know, nobody thanked me when I came back from Vietnam. I had a couple situations where a serviceman had tears in his eyes, and they're touched. And I think it's a reminder that freedom doesn't come free. I think, and hopefully that this type of thing will spread. I think we're a good country. I know that in the Second World War, that the treasures that were found in an old salt mine in Europe, these valuables were given back to the countries of which they were confiscated from. And the remainder, I found it very interesting, was giving to the survivors of the Holocaust. And they didn't run out of that money until 1998.
Really?
And I found that very interesting, something that I just learned. And I think it's so important. And I think this could be an inspiration for the youth to really know their history and understand how lucky and fortunate we are, and what a generous country we are. So I'm just thrilled that you recognize the veterans and what you're doing. I hope that that can catch on. I do.
Well, and thank you very much. That's a great segue to so many different. We don't have nearly enough time to talk about all the things I'd love to talk about, but our own volunteer Neil Kaiser has been working on a project to capture the stories of aging veterans so we can keep them and share them with future generations. So this is the sort of thing that never tires of telling, because it's important to keep those tales and keep the stories and keep the real issues that affected us in those days, and to give back and to thank people who served, so that we can sit here and just have this gentle conversation. Not every country has this opportunity, and never should we forget that. The ships that you served on, and you served from 1957
57 to 59 aboard ship. We were a rescue ship.
Okay.
And at sea, and the North Atlantic is rough, and that's where we rescued one ship. So.
Really?
But I didn't see battle, but I saw some rough seas. But I felt very proud and very thankful that I had the opportunity to serve.
I was at a conference once in North Carolina, and there was a kid there who had been assigned, this is back in the 80s, and he had been assigned to desk duty in New Jersey. Yeah. And a couple other veterans were at the bar, and he was moaning about it. He said, yeah, I wish I could. And they started buying him drinks, and everybody in the bar started buying him drinks, because they were trying to tell him that the most important job is each job in the Army that makes it work. So I thought that's just one of those stories that I remember that touches. So with that piece of it, we've got recognition on the field, and we've got the opportunity for people to donate. So now let's talk about giving the turkeys. So did you do that last year?
Yeah, I personally delivered a few of them. I delivered the flyers to all the businesses to spread awareness, but I did deliver a few of the turkeys. So we're delivering them, I think, the weekend before Thanksgiving, to give a chance to, I guess, prepare them for Thanksgiving Day. And if you contact the email or phone number early enough, then you'll get the turkey on time. If not, if you contact them, let's say game day or right before, then you'll still get admission. But so yeah, we deliver the frozen turkey to the doorstep, because when you call, you'll give us the email address. The home address.
So if I remember correctly, is there the reason why people should contact earlier is so you get your admission pass to the game, correct?
Admission pass and the turkey to get, so we can have time to deliver.
So this is a twofer. You can make one phone call and get double bonus. All right. And is there an opportunity to sign up day of? Maybe a veteran isn't paying attention. They see this program morning of.
You can show up to the game and, hey, I'm a veteran and I didn't get a chance to see hear about the program. Then yeah, we'll give you the passes on the day so you can walk in.
So the players are trying to make it as easy as possible to make this work.
Yes.
So not too many hoops to jump through. All you got to do is reach out.
Yep, very easy.
So reach out again to our veterans agent, Michael Johns, at mjohns@foxboro.ma. I'm sorry, at Foxboro, at mjohns@town.foxboro.ma.us. I should know that by now, shouldn't I? Or you can reach out to our own selectman, James DeVellis, with 2 L's, at comcast.net. So, Charlie, and I feel a little guilty calling both of you just by your first names. I feel as though I should use titles. And you in particular, sir, because you aren't just somebody who happened to be in Afghanistan. You served Hungary.
Yes, but the most important thing for today, respect for the veterans and preparing this, nice occasion as perfect as can be. And secondly, don't forget, go Warriors. So I hate to be defeated. So it means last Friday, it was a little bit problematic for us, but now they must go and must win.
So even though this is a bit of a partnership with Tom Answer, let's be honest, we are all cheering for the Warriors. Very good. Well, with the international rooting section solidly behind the Foxboro team, we are going to now make for some good television. And if we could, Balazs, convince your grandfather not be quite so humble and tell a little bit of how he served his country in Kabul, that would be fantastic. I think we can do that?
Yep.
All right, give it a shot. See if you can get him to say something.
All right.
This is your moment. You're the captain.
You want me to say it?
I want you. You can motivate these guys. Let's see if you can motivate your grandpa.
May I have the turkey?
Will you be in town for Thanksgiving?
No, it's joking, of course.
I'm joking too, but you're welcome to my house if they won't give you a turkey. So, part of the fabric of any community is where we come from. And America is a nation of immigrants. And with that, there's always a fascinating story behind each one of us and how we came here. But you have a particularly interesting story in that you served as ambassador.
Yep. I think that I have some impressions about the American people, how they are thinking, how they are working as a soldier abroad, for example. Like I told Marius that General McChrystal, David Petraeus, John Allen. So all those and all the others, the commanders and the other soldiers were very impressive how they were doing their job and their duty. So it means that if I be 20 in my 20s or 30s, maybe I would be try myself and how it works. But okay, when I was 20, I was in the army in Hungary for 2 years. In homeland, there were no abroad duty for us, but it was a hard job. But it was important to be a real man, a real adult. So it means that it's an interesting part of a young boy.
So that was part of your youth, and then life went on, and you somehow entered the diplomatic corps.
It is very very, very unique because it's not a regular one. It's not a traditional diplomatic duty in Afghanistan. Forget it. If you are, salute in the Buckingham Palace, it's one thing, or in front of the Japanese Hirohito, it's okay. But in a tent among those guys, it's also very unique and very, very interesting to learn how the things are going.
So and if I can ask, what time period did you serve in Afghanistan?
In 2010, 2013.
So it's been very recent.
Yeah, I just retired last year.
Well, congratulations on retirement. And
Yeah, thank you.
Your title is Brigadier General.
Yeah, but it's an honorary title because as an ambassador, every nation who send their troops in the NATO, via NATO or the ISAF, the International Security and Assistance Force, the ambassador has, because of the clearances, etc., they has to put their rank on the certain level, and for the ambassador is Brigadier General. So I'm a retired Brigadier General, let's say.
But you're the ambassador to, you're the Hungarian ambassador to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I bet not any other player on the football team can say that.
No.
See, there you go.
I would like to change. I'd be a good quarterback, and he can be an ambassador, retired ambassador.
Well, I got to tell you, I'd give up 30 years of my age to do that again too, wouldn't I? And you guys are definitely doing the right thing and creating this tradition. And what I now would like to remind everybody, folks, is that this is a perfect opportunity to pick up your pen, cut out a check, and send it to the Foxboro Touchdown Club at Box 465, Foxboro 02035. I'm joined here with my guests, Balazs Buzniak.
Yeah.
Excellent. Charlie Buzniak, Mario Marini, and Brian DeVellis, who together we are promoting the Thanksgiving Day salute to the troops, salute to the veterans, and also the Thanksgiving turkey, not a charity, as you keep reminding me.
Yeah.
It's a salute and a thank you and a give back to the folks who have served us. Right?
Yeah, could I say something else about that? Do we have time?
Do we all right with that? Okay, yeah, okay,
right.
we agree. You can
All
say
right,
something
so
about
you just mentioned about sending your checks. I'd just like to mention that so the free admission for the veterans, that's not really a burden on any organization. Like, you need the admission to the games, that goes toward a fund, and they're not, the money that is, they're getting in for free, and that money is not just disappearing. It's being, it's coming from donations from, like, this show is a good way to spread awareness, and flyers and some articles in the newspaper. So if you're there and you're deciding on whether or not, if you're considering sending in a check, just know that that's how that makes all this possible, and it's, I guess, for a good cause.
I would guess that it would be for a good cause, yes. And Mario, fantastic that you were able to take the time to join us also. And
Thank you.
The Marini family seems to be everywhere and do so many things. And you actually have a connection to last year's creation of this and the Mansfield side of it. You, in addition to raising kids here in Foxboro.
Yes, I was born in Mansfield. I grew up in Mansfield. But we lived here from 1969 to 1996, but we're still always here. And we're at the Cape, yeah.
So that.
Yes,
So who are you going to be rooting for?
Foxboro.
Oh, there you go.
Foxboro. We have 10 grandchildren here. I said to Debbie, we need an honorary degree from your school.
Well, they can name a wing after it for the next expansion. So but also you, Richie Palanza, and I'm looking at my notes, and thanks again to Selectman Jim DeVellis. I don't know if people realize, but Mr. DeVellis is a driving force behind this, working along with Mr. Johns on the Foxboro side and partnering with the Mansfield folks. So he chose not to be on air today because he's a very humble man and is very shy of camera. For those of you who are frequent fans of Foxboro Central, you know that he's been on my program about 42 times. So we wouldn't let him on today. But despite that, we're going to let his family on, which is almost as good, right? So he gave me notes, and he mentioned that you are an uncle to Richie Palanza.
Yes, yes.
Well,
So
you know
we
him better
have-
than I do, so you tell the story.
Yes, well, Richie Palanza's grandmother was my father's cousin, first cousin. So in Italian, we're all, we're aunts, uncles. It doesn't matter what level. You're a zio or a zia, or a cugino or a cugina. That's cousins. So Richie's an outstanding guy.
And he
And
was
his
one of the
family.
ones who last year helped initiate this on the
Yes.
Mansfield side, correct?
Yes.
So there's that family connectivity also.
Yeah, very
so.
close. Very close.
Good for the Marini clan. Then.
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. So what I'd like to do now is, real quickly, and we are running out of time, but I'd like to first of all say thank you very much, both of you, for your service in your different ways. And thank you both for your service as far as being student athletes and excelling in school, but also excelling on the football field. Is there anything that the football team needs in addition to supporting the veterans and supporting through donations? And this is a softball saying, come out to the game.
Support your team.
Support your team. Wear your blue and gold. Come out to the game on Thanksgiving Day at what time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. in Mansfield. There's plenty of parking. It's a beautiful field. They've got the turf.
Yes.
Something that we may someday have bleachers on our turf.
Yep, that's the plan.
Which is another DeVellis project that has been wonderfully successful so far, which the legacy continues. So come on out to the game on Thanksgiving Day. Foxboro Cable Access will be there as well, and we hope you will be too. If you're a veteran, come down to the game. You get special admission, special seating, a way to recognize you and your families as you come out to root on the Warriors, as you say. We should all be Warriors fans today. And what I'd like to do now is give the two last words to the gentlemen who are here. Sir, first.
I salute you, Charlie. I shook your hand. I salute you. And I thank you very much. And I think it was a great job. And I just hope this kind of thing continues and spreads.
I think we can all get behind that sentiment. Sir?
It's also thanks for the occasion to express my feeling on this. I'm very proud of my grandson about this. Also his fellow, all the team, the Warriors of Foxboro, and I'm sure because of the familiar roots and tradition by Mario that Mansfield and Foxboro is not enemies, they are competitors on this field.
Well,
Absolutely.
spoken like a
that.
true
Absolutely.
diplomat.
Yeah.
Two good towns. Two good towns.
I can see why you probably excelled as the ambassador for Hungary. Brian, last word?
Thank you for having us on your show, and thanks all you guys. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors. And Balazs.
Thank you for having us on your show. Once again, thank you, veterans, for your service, and go Warriors, and hope to see a lot of the veterans' faces when we're delivering the turkeys.
And there we go. We hope to see all veterans down at the field. We hope to see all fans down at the field on Thursday, Thanksgiving at 10 a.m. If you'd like to make a donation, this is your last chance to get the address. It's Foxboro Touchdown Club, Box 465, Foxboro 02035. If you're a veteran, would like a turkey, it's not charity, it's fun. Take it. Let the football team come and talk to them. Email Mike Johns at mjohns@town.foxboro.ma.us, or our favorite selectman, Jim DeVellis. You can call him at home at 508-543-2852 or email him at jamesdevellis@comcast.net. We are so out of time, it's unbelievable. If you'd like to see a replay of this, get those addresses again. Check us out on the web at www.fcatv.org. Until next time, I am Bob Hickey, thanking you for taking a little bit of time to join with me, and I hope you have a great weekend. Go Warriors!